Welcome to Fox 54 News at 6. I'm Kenesha Dees. We are on day 16 of the government shutdown and it's looking like it will extend into next week. Here are the latest updates. The Senate failed to pass a vote today that would end the shutdown. The vote was 51 to 45. 60 votes are needed to move forward. A federal judge in San Francisco halted the Trump administration from its efforts to lay off federal workers, as many federal workers are still without pay. One company is trying to help alleviate some of the stress of paying bills right here in the Rocket City. Fox 54's Logan Alexandra Russell has the story.
As the country faces day 16 of the government shutdown, many federal workers are still without pay. Paychecks aren't rolling in, but the bills are still showing up in mailboxes, and so is the stress. But one local company is making an effort to relieve some of that stress. Huntsville Utilities says it will not charge customers late fees.
We are a federal center of the South, and Huntsville Utilities recognizes that and knows that our customer base is heavily tied into this industry, and that impacts our customers.
In addition to no late fees, HU says they will not disconnect service for non-payment, and they'll work with their customers on payment arrangements when the government operations resume. The extension they're offering doesn't solely apply to federal workers. They say all customers can benefit. However, they highly encourage customers to pay when they can.
If customers are having an immediate concern with their account, as always, regardless of the shutdown, always give us a call. If your account and your situation bears that, give us a call.
But utilities aren't the only bill that needs to be paid. For many, there are still water bills, rent payments, and more. Redstone Federal Credit Union still has its offer for federal workers to apply for low-interest loans, but they say they don't have any new relief resources available right now. In Huntsville, Logan Alexandra Russell, Fox 54 News.
For more information on the shutdown and its impacts on Capitol Hill and in the Rocket City, go to fox54.com. And with debates over medical care funding continuing as the main focus on Capitol Hill, both Democrats and Republicans are pointing fingers at one another. Alabama Senator Katie Britt says Senate Democrats are using the federal workforce as a pawn and that the shutdown shouldn't be happening. Here's a listen.
It is Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats who are utilizing the federal workforce as pawns. When you think about this, it is critically important that we focus right where we need to, and that is that this shutdown should not be occurring. Jake, we have put forth a clean CR to allow us to continue to fund the government while we work out any issues, primarily among them actually getting appropriations bills across the finish line.
A lot happening on Capitol Hill.
I know, very much.
Yes, and it's obviously trickling down to Huntsville and other cities across the country. The whole country is being impacted by it, but specifically with Huntsville Utilities, like how exactly are they helping people? Because I know it's a tough time for some furloughed workers.
Right, so right now there are no late fees that are going to be going on, as well as you will not get a disconnect if you pay any of your bills late, but they do, say if you can pay them, try to pay them on time, but if not, they completely understand.
So they kind of have like a grace period is what I've heard been used in situations like this.
Right, and it's not just for federal workers. They say that any of their customers can reap the benefits of this, but if, like I said before, if they can try to pay them, do so. If not, it's no big deal. And once the shutdown is over, then they'll work with the customers if they need to come up with some sort of payment plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And I want to say, too, you were out covering One Gen Away. They've also stepped up. There's several organizations that are stepping up to really help people.
Right. They did a food drive for federal workers. No questions asked, no proof of employment. And that was really, really great. They did that both here and in Tennessee.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Logan. We'll keep our eyes and ears peeled for anything else that may help people who are struggling. Thank you, Logan.
Yes, of course.
All right, well, here's a look at the weather in Huntsville, the sky, I should say. Beautiful blue sky. Along with that weather, it was warm, it was nice, not too warm, feeling a little bit like fall. I'm joined now by Fox 54 Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Jordan, it's almost the weekend. How's the weather looking?
Yeah, things are going to begin to go a little bit downhill as we head into the weekend. Now, Saturday's actually not going to be that bad. It's Saturday night early into Sunday morning that we're going to get a little bit of excitement across the Tennessee Valley, all thanks to a cold front that is going to push its way through our neck of the woods. And out ahead of that cold front is going to be a rather robust line of showers and thunderstorms. Now, we're talking about a line of showers and thunderstorms that hasn't even developed yet. So I have some details here, but these details are going to be refined and kind of become more defined over the next 24 hours or so. Right now, timing for the onset of showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley, 10 p.m. to 8 a.m. Sunday morning. That would kind of be an entrance to an exit time frame. But again, that's going to become more defined over the next 24 hours. We're talking about the chance for strong or marginally severe thunderstorms to develop across the Tennessee Valley. And then because of the time frame, I want to make sure you have multiple ways to receive your severe weather alerts. The greatest chance for anything severe is going to be across northwest Alabama, Lauderdale, Colbert, and then down into Franklin County. We'll talk about this in great detail here in just a couple of more minutes.
Thank you, Jordan. The trial of former Decatur police officer accused of shooting and killing a Decatur man has been moved to January. Mac Marquette on trial for the 2023 shooting that left C. Perkins dead outside of his home when police accompanied a local tow truck employee attempting to repossess Perkins' truck. The trial was moved in order to allow time for his appeal to move through the state court system. Marquette believes he should have immunity because of the state's stand your ground law. All of his appeals have been denied. His legal team has appealed the decision to the state Supreme Court. The defense has asked for the trial to be delayed so a ruling could be made, which has been granted. The search for missing Huntsville man has come to an end. Huntsville police say 31-year-old Xavier Chambers was found dead today after a 6-day search. Chambers was last seen Friday around 8:30 a.m. near Madison Boulevard. Police were called to check on him, but when officers arrived, he had already left the area. Earlier today, HPD, with help from multiple agencies, discovered a deceased person later identified as Chambers. HPD says at this time, no foul play is suspected. The investigation is ongoing. A chiropractor convicted of attempted murder after intentionally poisoning his wife will remain behind bars after attempting to get his sentence suspended. Brian Mann, pictured here, was originally arrested in September of 2022 when his then-wife Hannah Mann was hospitalized for lead poisoning. Prosecutors say Mann's motive was potentially financial gain. Court filings show 5 life insurance policies on his wife totaling more than $1 million. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison on August 27th of this year. Mann filed an appeal with Morgan County courts asking for the sentence to be suspended. The request was denied yesterday. This weekend, mayors in Alabama's biggest 10 cities will descend to Mobile, along with newly elected mayors set to take office in November. Fox 54 spoke with City of Madison Mayor-elect Renee Bartlett ahead of the Big Ten Mayors meeting. Here's what she expects with Mayor Paul Finley.
He and I are headed this weekend to the Big Ten Mayors meeting. We're going to go together along with and meet with other newly elected mayors and current mayors to help in the transition. In South Alabama, Mayor Stimson is the host for this event, and so we'll also get to see the newly elected mayor in Mobile. They'll set the agenda, and we'll receive it when we get there.
Yeah, tonight at 9, we'll hear from Bartlett on her transition to mayor and how she's collaborating with 6 new city council members before they're all sworn in. Huntsville-Madison County Chamber held its State of the County address this afternoon. Madison County Chairman Matt McCutcheon spoke with the crowd filled with many local business and civic leaders. This was McCutcheon's 3rd annual address. He touched on public safety, infrastructure, job growth, and transportation. McCutcheon also made mention of plans for the county jail. As Madison County continues to grow, so will the need for public safety. He says the jail is at capacity right now and plans are in the works for expansion.
It would be remiss if we as a commission didn't plan ahead. So we're looking at the growth of our county, we're looking at the capacity of the jail now, and we're looking at it from the standpoint if we continue to grow, where we're going to be in a year, where we're going to be in 2 years, where we're going to be in 5 years.
The criminal justice system is a high priority, the chairman says. He also says you can't have public safety without a solid criminal justice system. It costs $26 million to keep the jail running and functional, we've learned. And McCutcheon says the majority of that money comes from taxpayers. He began his term last November. The commission plans to continue its efforts in keeping the county safe. Governor Kay Ivey announced the creation of the Alabama Department of Workforce today. The ADLW is a new state agency that brings multiple workforce programs under one department to improve access to jobs and career training. The department aims to address Alabama's workforce participation paradox With the low, nearly 3% unemployment rate, but only 57.8% workforce participation, focusing on young adults who lose healthcare coverage at age 26. Secretary Greg Reed says the department will be a central resource for workforce services, improving efficiency and career development. Attorney and small business owner Will Pallant announced his campaign for Huntsville City Council District 4 today, challenging longtime incumbent Bill Kling, who was first elected in 1988. Pallant, a native of Huntsville, says his focus will be on infrastructure investments, school improvements, and quality of life as the city grows. He also aims to secure funding for the I-565 and Memorial Parkway interchange, expand online city services, and promote economic growth in biotech research and AI. The election scheduled for August 25th of next year. The Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency says deer hunters will soon face new rules on baiting and using drones. Starting in August of next year, a deer bait privilege license will allow baiting on private land, costing $50 for residents and $100 for non-residents. Lawmakers also approved the use of drones to recover wounded deer, but TWRA must first finalize the rules. Until then, officials say baiting and drone use for deer recovery remain illegal. The Tennessee Highway Patrol upgraded its dispatch phone system, this week to improve call quality and reliability. The new system, called IP Flexible Reach, uses a private network instead of public internet, replacing old copper lines and fixing connectivity issues. THP says the upgrade will also prepare them for the next generation 911 system, helping troopers respond faster. Colonel Matt Perry calls it a major step in strengthening communications and ensuring Tennesseans can count on a clear, secure connection. Coming up, a North Alabama community comes together to celebrate the life of 16-year-old Alice Huibu, remembered for her courage, spirit, and the joy she brought to everyone around her. FOX54's Valentina Chalala has a look. And are you looking for a new perfect friend? Decatur Animal Shelter has just the event coming for you. Stick with us.